everybody, welcome back to Chic on the Cheap. This week I took on my very first large piece of furniture makeover, so it was pretty exciting. A while ago I saw in a magazine a whole bedroom theme that was Moroccan and burnt orange and dark woods, and I really liked it. So ever since I've seen that magazine, I really wanted to do my bedroom all in this burnt orange Moroccan kind of feel. So a while back I found this headboard at Goodwill for $9.99, pretty proud of that. And I decided I wanted to redo it. It didn't actually turn out the way that I imagined it, but I really like the way that it turned out. So this is my very first headboard redo makeover, and I tried to do it on the cheap, as always, so I hope you enjoy it and maybe you can take some tips away for your own projects at home. So here's the headboard I started with. I originally wanted to use the 3 panels and put fabric behind those shapes, but when I started to take it apart I realized they were really cheap plastic, so the panels had to go. So my first step was to take the panels off of the basic frame. I did that, and here's what it looked like. I did save the panels. Hopefully I can think up something to use them for in the future. My next step was to sand down the entire frame, take off the old varnish, and then I stained it with a dark wood stain because I wanted that dark wood Moroccan look. And when I was finished with all that, let it dry for a little bit. Here's what the newly stained frame looked like. Now my plan was to put a fabric batting board behind that. So my first step was to cut out a piece of wood that would fit in that open space as a backing board. I used masonite. It's actually a piece of wainscoting that was left over from our bathroom remodel, and it worked really well. I laid it behind the frame, and then I took a Sharpie and I traced out the area where fabric and batting would be applied. I used quilt batting, and I just stapled that quilt batting evenly on the outside of my Sharpie line so that it would kind of push through that frame. And then I used my fabric. Now here's a trick for fabric. Instead of buying upholstery fabric, which can be really expensive, I bought one panel of an insulated curtain. It was like $12, saved me a lot of money, and it was more than enough fabric for what I needed. So that's a fun trick. I stapled my fabric over the batting on the outside edge again, and then I wanted to add some tufting, some button tufting, but I didn't want to do it with a curved needle the way you usually do upholstery buttons, so I just used those furniture tacks, found the middle of my board, added one tack, and then added tacks all the way down on either side. Next, I turned that board over and attached it to my frame so that the fabric part pushed through that opening, and I just used some short screws to attach that to the back. And then I needed to make the buttons to cover up the furniture tack. To do that, I used pennies. Now you can buy buttons where you can put fabric on the outside, but if you don't have them, I just use pennies, hot glue, and a little bit of fabric, and here's what it looks like. It's a cheap alternative, and you have some money put away for later. And here is the final product. I'm pretty proud of it. It turned out really good, and I think it's the perfect beginning to my Moroccan-themed bedroom. I really like the color. As you can see, I probably should have ironed it a little bit better before I put it on there, but hopefully the wrinkles will come out with time. So that's it. Thanks again so much for watching, everybody, this week. I really appreciate you coming back every week and watching the show. And please join me right back here next week, and I'll bring you more ideas that will save you money and make you look good.